It is a battleground blitz. Meanwhile, both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton pushing hard for voters in the swing states. The latest swing state poll shows that the candidates are neck and neck in Pennsylvania and Colorado. Democratic strategist Tom Baer is with us right now to talk more about that. Tom, it is good to see you.
Hey, how are you?
So
nice
let's go through this. Both candidates hitting the trail today. Trump will be in Iowa. Clinton will be in New Hampshire. What do you see as really striking you? Is the campaigning in the battleground states really crucial now as we...
well, it's more crucial
40 days away.
It's more crucial to Donald than it is to Hillary. The reason is that the Democrat goes into this election with 242 electoral votes. These are the 17 states that nobody's really talking about.
So Hillary goes in with 242.
She does go in.
She needs 270.
She needs 270. There are 7 battleground states: Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Colorado, New Hampshire, Iowa, and Nevada. She's doing pretty well in Pennsylvania. That's not on this list. And I think she's going to win in Pennsylvania.
But they're close in Pennsylvania.
I'm telling you,
okay,
I think she...
Fine.
Yes, but I think she's going to win. So Donald has to get... Mr. Trump, Donald has to get... he has to get 6 of these 7 states because of the deficit he has going in. So Hillary is going to need, after Pennsylvania, about 10, 12 electoral votes. And so she can get it from Colorado and New Hampshire or Nevada and Florida or just Florida, and she wins. So, yes, they're very important and they're very significant, and it's a big struggle, and she's going to give her all in every state. And let me also tell you that the other advantage that she has, other than the arithmetic advantage, is this ground game advantage. Now, that's really a pretty simple concept. People say they got to get the vote
Tony, can he do it? I mean, look at Tom's making a...
I think Tom's structural premise is right. Generically, every Democrat goes into the Electoral College math with a mathematical advantage. I would argue this is probably the one election year in which this kind of conventional wisdom is being turned on its head. Donald Trump this week pulled ahead in some key battleground states, including the one we talk about the most, Ohio. Looks the same way in Florida, North Carolina, Nevada. He's now
in Nevada.
Now he's actually pulled ahead. He's now competitive in Maine and New Hampshire. So now he's hitting the Northeast, traditionally not very good terrain. And what really is troublesome for Hillary is this campaign now is moving to those states that you don't have on your list because they're not usually that competitive but are now. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, all within 3 points. So while I agree with the generic argument, I think it's really getting changed with the dynamic created by Donald Trump's candidacy.
On a state-by-state basis, how much would a debate performance impact that? Is it more about their presence and the presence of their surrogates and the presence of the grassroots operatives in those states versus a national televised performance like that?
I think it'll have very marginal impact, and you even see Democrats now conceding that the first debate performance, even if you think Hillary Clinton won, might not actually move numbers that much on the ground. Think about who Donald Trump, though, spoke to in his debate. He specifically mentioned Pennsylvania, Michigan. He's talking to that blue-collar worker who feels completely left out of this economy, who thinks trade deals have been working against their interests. And if you see some of the kind of anecdotal focus groups, those are the people responding most to that debate.
I just want to add this. I talked to a major Democrat who's an elected official in one of these critical battleground states, one of these swing states. And the reaction after that debate was, Hillary Clinton talks down to us.
Well,
that was their reaction. It's just her. That was their demeanor.
She felt that way at the debate?
She didn't. Not this Democrat, but her constituents. Their reaction to Hillary Clinton was she talks down to us.
There's the only one of me here. Let me just respond by saying that it's crystal ball gazing as to what's going to happen in these states at this point. And with respect to the argument about the points that Hillary got out of the debate, remember what we are looking for here. She needs a solid 2 to 3 points, which will come from her people or our people and people who are leaning towards her, and then she wins. She's never going to convince the Trump people. So I believe that whatever you say about what some Democrats said to you, which I credit, that it's our people 2 or 3 points, and she wins.
You know, I think an important question too is in these in these battleground states, how does a third party play a role? Whether it's Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, because you're seeing a lot of the Bernie people who were millennials not coming over, and we're seeing third parties still pull well, especially this late in the game, where normally you see them trend down. So do you think they could have an effect in a Nevada or a Florida to tilt the game one way, and who would it impact?
Well, we don't need all 7. We only need 10 or 12 points. The answer is they're a problem. And I think there is some turmoil going on in Gary's campaign. You may have heard some things that I've heard. I'm not so sure that it's going to finish the way it started.
What are you hearing?
Well, what's the point?
Well, we know this, that the fact that he wasn't on the debate stage, which we asked about him yesterday, is going to hurt. It's going to hurt his numbers.
I think there's some differences of opinion in the ticket.
Okay.
Tom, I want to ask you 2 important things before we go. The fact that she is outspent. We'd like you to stay. But the fact that she's outspent him 8-1 in a lot of these battleground states, and yet he either is tying her or leading her, number 1. Number 2, the enthusiasm. You had her in North Carolina at a rally with about 1,500 people. You had him in Florida at a rally with about 10,000 people with another 6,000 waiting outside. How much does the spending and the enthusiasm concern you?
His numbers based upon his spending are astonishing, is the word. And the reason is that the people who support him are not substantive. They don't really care about debate points.
Well, you're saying they're deplorable.
I didn't say they're deplorable.
I would argue they care about different stuff.
But when you say somebody's not substantive, I can fill a bus of substantive Trump supporters and drive them to your house if you want.
I didn't finish the statement. The statement is there is one element of substance that is the primary element, and that is up the system. Donald Trump does not represent change. He is change. And that's a literal fact. And that's what they want. And there are a lot of them. And that's what this election's about.
Shouldn't they want that, though? I mean, look at their situation. They haven't seen their incomes move. You know, they feel like they haven't had a shot. The economy is at a crawl. I mean, shouldn't they feel like there's the agencies in government, they're politicized?
When she said she's going to be a champion of small business, I about fell over.